I had a lady out in Los Angeles. The company sent me her info. This customer needs a service call. So I called the woman up. Her name was True Gianelli, and I have somewhere here in my office. I can dig it out here somewhere, but I got a letter from True Gianelli. True Gianelli, I had to go to her house. She lived in Burbank. She lived next door to Bob Hope, who was still alive at the time. Big, I had to go through the gates, the mansion, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was gorgeous. Went in this house. I'd never been in a house like this before. And all she needed was a handle. And I started talking to her. How long have you had the cookware? How do you like it? What do you guys do? They're in the movie business. They weren't movie stars, but they were behind the scenes, producers or something. And she told me that they had first moved to California. I don't remember the exact year, but it was about 50 years ago. They moved to California 50 years ago. They lived in a one-room apartment on Hollywood Boulevard. They had no money. They didn't have 2 dimes to rub together. A guy came to their house, cooked them a dinner. They saw the cookware, and they bought a set. She said, everyone told us we were crazy. We did not have the money to buy the cookware, but we really wanted it, and we said, we'll figure out a way. She said, AJ, let me tell you, it's the best investment we ever made. And I stopped her. I literally stopped her. I said, wait a minute. You told me that you came here from the East Coast 50 years ago. You had no money. You're living in a one-room apartment on Hollywood Boulevard. And now you're living next door to Bob Hope. And you're telling me the pots and pans are the best investment you ever made? She said, yeah. Because it's the only thing we have today that we had 50 years ago on Hollywood Boulevard. That's a pretty good investment.
Wow.
And then what she did is she referred me to her niece. I believe it was her niece who lived out by the Six Flags, wherever the heck that is. I forget. Is it whatever? Before you go over the Grapevine, and she said, "Go see my Valencia. Go see my niece." And I went out and saw her niece, and the niece picked out a set of cookware, and True bought it for her. True Gianella. That was. I'll find you the letter that you guys can use if you want to, just about how great the cookware is. But these are not made up third-party stories that I'm giving you right now. These are third-party stories that have happened to me, and I can throw them out there with the conviction and with the passion so that it just makes sense. If you've got somebody, when I'm talking about shooting your bullets at your crowd, you got a group of people sitting in front of you, and you got to figure out, how am I going to sell all of these people? Because I don't know what's important to this guy, and what's important to that guy, and what's important to that guy. Well, you go around the room in the beginning and you survey the room. If you're in someone's house doing a presentation, it is so much easier because you're there. You got time to break the ice. You can look around. You can eyeball the situation. You know exactly what the hot buttons are. But when you're in a big group, you can shoot bullets on, well, my cookware does this, and my air filters do this, and my water filter does this, and my mattress is the best. But you know what? People don't buy things all the time necessarily because you say, or because I say it's the best. They buy it based on how they feel. So your job as a salesperson is to make them feel the way they need to feel. And that's by telling them stories. And you may have to throw out all kinds of different stories to cover a very broad variety of potential objections. But if you do that, go back to, if you're going to buy a new car and the new car was double the price, but you'd never have to buy one again. What I am doing is I am bringing up the objection before they think of it. I'm handling it in my presentation, and then I'm moving on so that I won't get that objection at the end.